You're listening to the Late Night Football Show with your host, Rohit Singh. That's me. On this show, we talk about some of the most seriously silly topics from the world of football for your entertainment and enjoyment. Please remember that the show is BYOL. Bring your own laughs, since we don't have the budget for a studio audience. Happy listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Late Night Football. We've officially reached double figures with tonight's episode, number 10, so that's another milestone crossed off. Unfortunately, though, it coincides with Liverpool winning the Premier League title for the first time since 1990. So that's not all great news there. Now, normally I would have ignored this and focused on something else, but I have to be professional here. Otherwise, the few of you who do watch this channel might also leave. Anyway, for those of you listening to this episode, I recommend you also listen to my episode on the slip, which chronicles the title challenge debacle of 2014 from Liverpool. That will cheer you up if you're a non-Liverpool fan, or it might keep you grounded if you're a Liverpool fan. But anyway, congratulations to Liverpool on winning the Premier League title. For those of you who are not Liverpool fans, this is day 3 of the apocalypse. And what I've learned is that it's best if you stay off the internet. Because day 1 was fine, but since day 2, all I've seen are Liverpool fans spamming on Twitter and Facebook, everywhere, about how they won the league title. So it's best if you stay off the internet for a while. Now, based on that intro, most of you know, and I know, that this was going to be very hard for me to be unbiased about this particular event and actually convey some happy emotions. So we've got Liverpool superfan, not really, and reigning champion of his office's football bracket tournament, Mr. Farhan Ali, to join us today to talk about this historic event. Welcome, Farhan.
Thank you for the welcome and for the warm introduction. I'm fresh off of a trip from Anfield. We were celebrating to the wee hours of the morning, but I'm doing well, thanks.
Awesome, that's great. Now, in the interest of transparency, I want to mention that Farhan is actually a Manchester United fan, but this season he was cheering Liverpool on to the title because of completely legit and sentimental reasons. And I can't hold that against him. I know what they are. So tonight, basically, we all get to see things from a Liverpool fan perspective, thanks to you. So thank you so much for doing this.
Nah, not a problem. I'm going to try and represent all Liverpool fans to some degree because, I still support United, but I hope I can do them justice.
Yes, we hope so too. All right, so let's get started. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Liverpool's first Premier League title since 1990. Before I was even born, the last time they won it, and neither were you, Farhan. So how does it feel experiencing this literal once-in-a-lifetime experience of Liverpool as champions of England?
Thank you for exposing my age first and foremost, but
I'm saying you're younger than that, so clearly.
Yeah, I know. It was, to me, fun. I I support Liverpool for sentimental reasons, but I don't have that ill will towards them. Like I know a lot of Manchester United fans do, but also other fans that support different teams in the EPL. So for me, I like the talent on the team. I like Jurgen Klopp. I think what they got going on there is special, and it was fun to watch this season. So I think it was like interesting to hear the different narratives in regards to the season and Liverpool, but essentially like the style of play and the way they won, it has to be respected.
You mentioned you had a lot of fun. So how did you celebrate this win? Because it seems that most Liverpool fans, after winning anything, or even before, they like to smash and destroy things up. If you've read the news lately, for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, after winning the title, some fans set the Everton offices building on fire on Thursday, which was a truly deplorable act. What did you want to do when you saw them win the title?
I definitely didn't want to damage property, nothing related to their rivals. But for me, it was just, I kind of look back at the season. I saw, some of the key marking games that they had against the top 6, and I read a few articles. I don't know if that's how Liverpool fans celebrate their title win, but I was reading up on Jurgen Klopp and his stature with Liverpool, and I saw like in 5 years what he was able to do and what his resume looks like, and the conversation switched from winning it to looking like a dynasty, which was kind of intriguing and interesting to hear. But essentially, you win the title, you 30 years, 10 years. Well, for us, it feels like 30 years as well. But 30 years, less than 10 years, you have to do it with grace and class. I don't agree with that whole damage Everton because of some type of rivalry that they got going on, or even diminish other teams for that fact. Like, you win, act like you've been here before, and just keep it pushing.
Okay, maybe that's the sensible Manchester United fan side of you that stops you from doing anything like that. The classy side. No, I'm kidding, but no, that's really nice, and that's really wonderful that you can be so grounded about that. But we've known pretty much for months that Liverpool were going to win the title. It really was a formality before the lockdown began, even much before that, actually. For those of you who may not remember, the fans chanted, "We're going to win the league," for the first time when they beat Manchester United in January. January considered as the time when Liverpool fans kind of believed that they were going to win the title. But when did you believe that Liverpool were going to win it? Like, when did you think that, yes, this is finally going to be happening this year?
I can't pinpoint an exact moment as to when I thought, oh, these guys are going to win the league. Even with last year's run that they had, I thought they could win the league. But for me, in this particular year, I think it was when the conversation started around them them meeting the invincible season. And I'm referring to when Arsenal, which was like also 30 years ago, won the league as in an unbeaten season.
That was 16 years ago.
16 years ago. It might as well have been 30. But yeah,
shade right there for Arsenal fans, by the way.
No, but like when that conversation started and started to pick fire up, I think that's when I'm like, these guys are Liverpool's going to win this league.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for me, it was the game between Manchester United and Manchester City back, I think, in December when United beat City. And I thought, like, that shit team can beat Manchester City, because this is pre-Bruno and no Pogba in the side, and they still managed to beat City. I thought they can beat it, and there's no way City are going to catch up to Liverpool, like win enough games or keep winning games to catch up to Liverpool. There's no way. To be fair, even if they had kept winning games, they still wouldn't have caught up to Liverpool. That's such has been their dominance. So really, but at that point, I thought, yeah, the title race is over. Liverpool are
right.
Leicester are not going to catch up to them anyway. So I think Leicester was second at that time. I was like, that's not going to happen. So yeah. So, that was when I thought, yeah, definitely Liverpool are winning it this year. So
you see, we can't even celebrate a win against Man City. We have to be like, yeah, we won, but at what cost?
Yeah. Well, I understand your plight, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So now Liverpool have broken quite a few records this season, as you would know. They're the fastest to win the league title in 31 games. They had the best ever start to a season ever in Europe. They had the biggest lead ever in top flight history at 25 points, which has never happened before, that a team had 25 points lead over the second place team. And they also had the most home wins in a row with 21. But they're still gunning for a few more. And considering that they're out of all the other competitions anyway, and they have nothing else left to play for, that's really all they can do. So they should be going for more records. But which records do you think they can get? And I know you're not familiar probably with all the records that they can get, but maybe we can do sort of a trivia here for the first time on Late Night Football. I'll ask you the record and you can say yes or no. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So let's start with the first one. Most points in a season. City's had 100-point season in 2018. Liverpool are currently at 86 with 7 games left. Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. They need 15 points in 7 games. Think they can do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, got obvious. All right, most wins in a season. City had 32 in 2018 and 2019. Liverpool currently at 28 with 7 games left. Yes or no? Can they win 5 more games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can. I saw their schedule. I think they can pull 5 out of that.
Yeah. All right. Most home wins in a season. The record is 18. Liverpool have won all 16 so far. Can they go full? Can they win all 19?
So they're unbeaten at home, right?
win. They have won all at home, and they have to,
They,
like, basically it's 18 wins, and so
yeah.
they go 19 wins at home. Basically win all their home games in the season. Three left.
Yeah.
They've got
I
three,
think
three more.
I think they had the beauty of winning. Yes, I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna give an explanation. I think because they, winning the league quite early, helps them focus on other things. So even with the break of COVID, it kind of can reiterate their focus to be like, hey, we can also have, a stature in the books that sits there with, like, among the greats. So I can
Well,
see Klopp talking to them.
well, to be fair,
What do you think?
they have nothing else left, right? They were kicked out of all the other three competitions, so that's really
Yeah.
all they have got now going for his records. Sorry, I'm throwing shade, but I have to. I can't help it. They've got nothing else really. Essentially, that's the records and how they can aim for, right, in the Premier League. So makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
All right, most away wins in a season. The record is 15. Liverpool are at 12. They have 4 away games left to play. Can they do it?
Hmm. I think they fall short there because I feel, if it was like if it was the regular season and we saw this happening, I'd feel more comfortable giving them a yes than now, because teams now have been away from, playing football for 2 months, 3 months, or whatever it be. And so, teams now that are back are not just going to lay down as easy. Every game is kind of show an opportunity to showcase themselves and play better. So, they might have trouble on those away games in those stadiums. So.
Okay, because if you had said yes to that, that meant that you were saying they were going to win all 7 games. So
Yeah,
missing
exactly.
yourself there. All
All
right,
right.
so no to that one. Okay,
Yeah.
but biggest winning margin, the record is 19 points set by City
Mm-hmm.
in 2018 over Manchester United. Liverpool are currently 23 points. So can they keep it? Do you think they'll break that record? They'll keep that
Yeah,
margin? Yeah.
I think so. City, yeah, they're crap. When they lost to Chelsea this past weekend, um, it was an indication for me to know that they are not here to play disruptors, or even save face in any of in this next few league games. They're probably focused on Champions League and Champions League only. So,
And FA Cup.
uh, and FA Cup, yeah.
Okay. All right. Right. That was great. Actually, that's all we have. And that was the first ever trivia of sorts on the show. That was incredible. Thanks so much, Farhan.
You're welcome, and I hope Liverpool fans know that I support them this season. And I'm trying to represent them in that way.
Yeah.
What's the acronym? UNWA.
It's YNWA. I think you just got that one wrong. But
There we
the,
go.
the U was the Twitter U, was another social media U, but it's actually Y. Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
know.
I'm not
Anyhow,
editing that out, by the way. I'm keeping it.
I'm with y'all. I walk with y'all. No, I'm with y'all, Liverpool fans.
Okay. All right. So let's get into a little bit of reminiscing now, which is a favorite
Yeah.
part for all Liverpool fans, or all
Right.
fans in general.
Yeah.
So now you know why I have you on the show. All right. But okay, so let's start with the first one. Who was your player of the season and why?
I'm gonna say Jordan Henderson. I know he didn't on statistically it doesn't show he offered goals and assists or chances created, but I think him at the midfield week in, week out for them has been a consistent, strong force in that midfield. And he's, being the captain, he's always a strong vocal leader. He exuberates that in a lot of different ways. So I'm going to give it to Mr. Henderson, Jordan Henderson. How about you?
That's an interesting choice. I would go with Andy Robertson. That would be my first choice. I didn't watch Liverpool play a whole lot, but whenever I watched, the difference that he makes to the team versus when he's not playing, I think that's quite big. I think both fullbacks are really important to the way Liverpool play. And I think for that reason, I would say Andy Robertson was my player of the season for Liverpool. If you're talking maybe the close second would be Alisson. And I think he's a really world-class goalkeeper. I think he makes such a huge difference to that defense because I've seen them play with Adrian and with Alisson. There's a real big gap. But I think that's telling if you think about it from my perspective, because Liverpool already had a very good offense and they have had a pretty good offense like throughout the last 20 years, I would say, with a few exceptions. But having a really strong defense, I think, is the difference between themselves and City. Because City have a good offense too, but they have a really bad defense. And that's where I think they've won the league by such a huge margin, is because they can keep those clean sheets or they can keep goals down and they can really focus on scoring the goals and making them count. So I think that really is key, that when I talk about it, I talk about their defense, I think, because that really was the difference this season.
Right, and I think also just to add on to what you're saying is what makes Liverpool for me a solid team, a football club, is because they have every aspect of the field is well put together. You look at the defense, you look at the midfield, and then you look at the attacking, and in all aspects, you can say that they have decent players to help fill each and all of those roles. I think their defense though is the standout. Yeah, no, that backline four I think is quite strong, and consistent in all of Europe. So that's probably why, like you said, helped them win the league. But in all fairness, the midfield and the attacking is all strong too.
Yes, yeah. My only criticism is he should play Lovren more. That really will help the opposition fans.
The best center back in the world.
Yes, no, I'm kidding. All right. So what was your match of the season?
My favorite game of the season was when they beat Arsenal quite bad. I think it was 5-1.
That game was actually 3-1 and it happened in August.
Was it 3-1? Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. I'm looking at yeah, that's what I meant. 3-1. I thought I got my years mixed up. They also played Arsenal last year and slapped them. I think
everybody
slapped them. Everybody beats Arsenal. Yes, you're right. Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is essentially like how they played against the top six, and how they dominated. I think their record against the top six is outstanding. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, I think they were able to beat every single one of us. Their dominance amongst the top six, like in the bottom tier six, whenever there's a big game or whenever any big game against the top six, Liverpool have just come and shown out. Whether it be Man United, City, Arsenal, Chelsea.
So why are you talking about Arsenal then if you're talking about the top six?
Well,
no.
Oh yeah, sometimes I forget, the standings. Yeah, you gotta scroll a little bit to see Arsenal these days. It's just
they're like ninth, I think, right now, 8th or 9th. But anyway, yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yes. No. Sorry. Well,
so
when you lose to Liverpool, sometimes you gotta go after other clubs. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, that was the memorable game for me. What about you?
All right. Well, okay. So I think I'm not gonna go there because I didn't see too many of Liverpool's games, so I don't really wanna. I don't think I'm in the right position to comment. I was tempted to say against Atletico at Anfield, but I think I want to mention that one. I think no, I don't have an opinion on this one because I didn't watch too many Liverpool games. But thank you for that one. I think we have a final question now. A lot of talk about dynasty, a lot of talk about legacy. Do you think they can do it again next year? Do you think it will really be a once in a lifetime experience? Can it be twice in a lifetime? Hope not.
That's funny. I think they will definitely win it again in the next few years. I don't know if they're definitely favorites for next year. I think there's a few teams that will level up in the coming season. I felt that way before COVID. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But essentially, I think this team is built for standing. Whether that be 2 more, 3 more, 1 more, I'm not sure. I think they will win 1 more again. I think Jurgen Klopp is a phenomenal manager. He's probably my favorite thing about Liverpool. In all honesty, I think he's a brilliant coach, and I think he's a brilliant coach. I think in the last 5 years, what he's accomplished with the Champions League win, final appearance, and now the League Cup under his belt shows that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's building, and it's just a matter of if they can keep this thing together with the team and add a few pieces here and there, or if someone leaves, if they can bring someone back, someone that easily can replace and replicate their style of play, then I see why not. I see them definitely winning 1 more.
That's great. I mean, I definitely think they will win next year because unless City upgrade that defense, they aren't getting anywhere near Liverpool. Plus, if they're banned for 2 years, don't worry, they won't be. City fans, they won't be banned for 2 years. But if they are, that will set them back definitely. And then Chelsea, they might be the closest challengers, but next year might be too soon because it will still be an inexperienced squad, even with Ziyech and Werner coming.
Right.
Spurs are going to struggle with or without Jose. United don't
Hmm.
have the depth to challenge for the title. I don't think so. Leicester
Well,
and Wolves are too far off to be thinking about this.
so
I
what
don't
two
think I'm
teams? What
sorry.
teams do you think? Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
What
yeah,
what teams do you think will compete with them? Will be that that team that'll stop them
I
from
think compete
that
is a
could.
strong word. I don't think Man City competed with them this year, even though they'll finish second. I think the closest will probably be Chelsea, only
Hmm.
because based on this transfer activity so far. And then we'll have to wait and see on City if what happens with the ban and things like that. If they have money to spend or not, I don't know. And if
Hmm.
they decide to upgrade their defense or not. So I think the closest would probably be Chelsea and City. And then after that,
Hmm.
it's really United, Leicester, Wolves. They'll probably still be fighting for that fourth spot next year. I think it might be a little bit too soon for United to think about challenging. They don't have the depth. I don't know if you watched the
Hmm.
game yesterday, the FA Cup match, but to me, that just
I
showed that they don't have the depth to compete for a league
Yeah.
title. I don't think there's anybody else. Am I forgetting anyone else in the big clubs? No way.
No, I think that's it. I think
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
rest, yeah,
Yeah.
all there.
The rest are fighting for relegation.
Yeah, relegation or mid-table. We're not talking about mid-table clubs.
Oh
I think
man.
more than Liverpool, I think we bashed another club here today. So
Yeah.
that's probably what's happened. I think.
I think we have to say this is like this is Liverpool praise and Arsenal hate as well. So
Yeah,
be
probably that's what this
listen in
is.
your own description.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much, Farhan, for being here. It was a real pleasure having you and telling us how you felt about this historic and, in some
Yeah.
people's minds, apocalyptic event. Really, but thank you so much for being here.
Not a problem. Liverpool fans, enjoy this W, this title. It was a great run. You guys deserved it. Let it not be 30 years for you guys to win it again. Let's hope not. As myself as a United fan, let's rejoice next week and not know what's gonna happen. Either be a happy result or a bad result, and take it on the chin either way.
All right. Well, that's really good advice. Before you go, Farhan, we had Maria do this the last time, and it really
Right.
didn't prove so effective. Maybe you can give it a try for us doing this.
Well, if Maria did it and it didn't work, I don't know how much like my efforts will go. But I for sure I
Well,
will
I'm sure the
definitely.
Arsenal fans will unsubscribe from this now, but maybe we can get some new Liverpool fans to join in. So,
Yeah. All right, sure. To all the Liverpool fans, Manchester United fans, and all two Arsenal fans, please join, like, subscribe, listen in. Rohit is in dire need of some listeners, and he has great content that he speaks about week in and week out. So please be sure to subscribe and tap in every single week.
All right, well, you heard him. Please do listen to him because he's right. We do need engagement numbers desperately. Thank you so much, guys. Talk to you again soon.